So I just read The Fellowship of the Ring, so Lord of the Rings book number 1 in the trilogy. This is my third attempt at reading the trilogy. This is the second time I'm able to finish. I don't want to say I'm able, but I've gone through the first book actually. So it's the second time, but it's my first time reading it in English. And I gotta say, I enjoyed myself actually. I really liked this book. It's not a perfect book though. I kind of understand why I struggled with it like a while ago. Mainly, so I'm just gonna start with the kind of the negatives of the book in my mind, and then I'll talk about kind of what I liked. In my opinion, there's like one fourth of the book is kind of boring, to be honest. Like 100 pages or so of the book could have just easily been thrown away. In my mind, you might not agree with me, but that's just how I felt when I read the book. Mainly, the main problem I have with the book is the exposition in it. Mainly, there's always somebody who knows exactly what happened to a certain place or to certain people somewhere, and they know that, and the way they explain the lore is through songs, which at first, I didn't mind the song, but there's just so many songs and so much exposition in it that I was just not happy with it. So all these small tidbits, I would have just removed it. Not the song altogether, because it's important in story-wise, not necessarily story-wise, but lore-wise, having these songs, because everything is through songs in Lord of the Rings. So, don't remove the songs entirely, but just less of it, I guess, or just not exposition through songs, maybe. And the other thing, like it lasts for 50 pages, I think, or so. But the whole Tom Bombadil, part, I would just have removed it. It's not helping the story. So I understand why it's there, for us to see how helpless the hobbits are, but we already got that feeling from the pursuit from the Nazgul. So that whole sequence, that's actually, I'm gonna talk a bit more about this, but that's my favorite part of the book. But we already got that feeling that they're helpless and they need help to survive and everything. But it's just, I didn't really, I don't think, maybe I'm wrong, maybe we'll see this guy later, I hope not, but maybe we do. So maybe he'll come into play later on, but I don't know. So that's it for the negatives. I'm gonna say all characters are better in the movie. Almost all characters. It's just some huge characters actually, but just some characters are better in the movie, in my opinion. Mainly, the two main characters that are way better not way better, but just slightly better in the movie than in the book are Gandalf and Elrond. I don't know if that's gonna change with other books, with book number 2 and 3, but for now, in book number 1 at least, Gandalf and Elrond are better in the movie actually than in the book. The last character I think was better done in the movie than in the book is Boromir. We see him more struggle in the movie than in the book, in my opinion, with the ring and everything. His feelings towards Frodo and towards the ring, towards the Fellowship also, is slightly done better in the movie than in the book. And it's Sean Bean, so, and huge spoiler alert if you've not read the book or watched the movie. This is the best death scene that you could ask for in a movie or something like this. This is one of the best. It's on par with Die Hard. You know, when Alan Rickman falls off, it's on par with that. Being great death in movies, actually. But yeah, the rest of the book, as I said, is really good. You know, 3/4 of a book being just amazing is just, you know, that's all you could wish for. It's actually, most of the book was better done than the movie. If you're a fan of the movies, you should read the book, because it adds so much more to the story, and also the relationship between all the hobbits. I'm not just going to say just between Frodo and Sam, because we're not there yet, but between the 4 hobbits is more believable in the book, in my opinion. Merry and Pippin are just so much better in the book than in the movie. I understand why they did that in the movie. So they're the comedic relief. Here they're not. They're rather serious. Pippin might be still kind of the comedic relief from time to time, but not that much, not as much as in the movies, actually. So yeah, once again, so the things that I really enjoyed, the pursuit from the Nazgul, that whole sequence is just, it lasts for half of the book. Actually, maybe even more than this, but it's actually really good. It's way better than in the movie, in my opinion. It's just the fear that you feel is really good. It's, you know, on the verge of horror almost. I couldn't stop reading that whole part. I was just, you know, I wanted to read more what was happening. That whole sequence in Bree, in the prancing pony, way better than in the movie. Once again, it was just, it's near perfection, actually. It was just so good. So the council is better in the book because they've not decided anything, actually. Nothing gets decided. They're just talking, but no resolution is accepted from anybody. So I really enjoyed that in the book. So they had to talk more, you know, afterwards to decide what they should do or whatever. The only sequence that I think was slightly better, not by much, in the movie than in the book was the Moria sequence when they go through the Moria. That's just the only thing, in my opinion, that's done just slightly better in the movie than in the book. It's just that in the book, you know, the whole fight scene in the tomb is not that long. You know, in the movie it's slightly longer and you get to see more action. It could have been just slightly more action in the Moria, but still, you know, the fly you fools thing that Gandalf says is still there, and I really enjoyed that in book and movies, actually. That's it for my kind of review of Fellowship of the Ring. I'm not going to read book number 2 just yet. I want to take a short break just so I don't get Lord of the Rings fatigue, if we could say it like this. But I want to read book 2 and 3, of course. It's just, I really enjoyed book number 1 and I can't wait to see where, I know where it's going, but, you know, continuing with the story, actually. So I'm taking a short break. I'm reading another book between book 1 and 2, which is Illyria by Elizabeth Hand. This is the second book that I'm reading, actually, by her. So I read Wilding Hall previously and I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to read more. I'm midway through the book, I'd say. Still liking it. It's a very different style, but still very good, very powerful. I want to read more by her. Actually, I ordered her first book that she's ever written. It's a trilogy, I think. but I just ordered the first one. I don't remember the title, might add it somewhere. I can't wait to read that also. I mean, yeah, for now I really enjoyed what she's doing. I can't wait to read more, actually. So expect a video soon for Illyria by Elizabeth Hand, and right after this I'm gonna read book number 2 in the Lord of the Rings, so Two Towers, and talk about it afterwards. So once again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.